The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time is rated E for everyone by the ESRB. And welcome back everyone to another episode of Ocarina of Time Master Quest. I'm Kyle, and in the last episode we did the most annoying side quest for the fourth bottle, the ghost hunting side quest, as well as did a obstacle course at Lon Lon Ranch in order to get a cow delivered to Link's personal house. In this episode, we are now going to descend into the darkness by entering the Shadow Temple, honored by the Sheikah, as pointed out by the entryway. You must have the magic spell Din's Fire to get in. You could light each torch individually, but I'm pretty sure they do extinguish. And also, with Young Link, you could get to this area sooner with Young Link, and the Young Link being Young Link, but he won't be able to enter the dungeon because he can't cross this gap. I think that's a great design aspect where basically any dungeon requires an item that Young Link can't possess. The shadow will yield only to one with the Eye of Truth, handed down in Kakariko Village. So this is what the Eye of Truth does. I don't think we've ever had the item equipped to showcase it, but it reveals fake things, such as in this room we have 5 pillars of skulls. Make my beak face the skull of truth. The alternative is descent into the deep darkness. So the lens reveals that the skulls don't exist except for one. So we're going to pull this twice, and it's going to automatically stop and lock on the correct one. And if you move away from the platform as I did, then it will trigger. But if you had it on a fake skull, then what's going to happen is the floor, this round floor, will drop you into a pit, and you just are reloaded to the start of the room. Now, even the fires on these other torches don't really exist, which is cool. And we have this, which, when struck, is fake. So we're gonna take a bomb and bomb here. And I'm going to take this time to remind you, I have not played these dungeons. That is a locked door. What? Aha! So this is a great opportunity to use the fire arrow to ignite those 2 torches. Okay. So that's how we get across. And this thing is called a big Beamos. It's not like a Beamos from Dodongo's Cavern. It requires 2 explosions in order to be destroyed. Now, the far wall is bombable. Also requires a key. This door. Spinning blades of doom, silver rupees. You can use your shield to duck under the sides, which I recommend because it's a scythe. So grab that. That opens that door. If we listen to Navi here, this wall, it's saying something. It says, if you want to see a ferry to the other world, come here. Don't actually go, it's a pit, and it respawns a bunch of monsters and stuff in this room. Oh. I will laugh if this is the item of the dungeon. I was not expecting the long shot to be where it was. Okay, guys. So defeat all the monsters to unlock the door to leave. Collect all the silver rupees in order to get out. Now once again, Big Beamos respawns. And in this room... we have two Gibdos, but the Jump Strike does a really good job at defeating them. We got, I'm going to say this is a small key. Small key. Now we could use that on the door down here, or we could take it to the door at the top. Which I think we're going to do. We're going to take it back to the top of the ramp. But before leaving this area, let's cast Pharaoh's Wind, because we don't use that in this game often, and it's a very cool spell. This makes it so that it goes back to the previous door you came into. The Shadow Temple is notorious for not having a lot of doors, so it's quite useful to use it to your advantage when you can. The reason why I wanted to use it is because now, instead of needing to cross the entire dungeon that I have here, I can just cast it to warp back. Okay. We're going to do something different with these guys. We are going to Sunsong them. I should have gone for a beard shave today. And we're going to spin attack. That scared me a little bit. I didn't think the big Gorons would have that big of a reach. Anyways, this is a very magic heavy oriented dungeon. If you have green potions, that's great. If you have, I think blue potions do exist in this game. Use blue potions, they heal health and magic. Okay, so we've got that. Oh, Song of Time. Sorry guys, like I said, I don't know these dungeons. I know the orientation of the dungeons based on their maps, but I don't know how to solve their puzzles when it comes to their puzzles. Oh, we have a new kind of puzzle here. Quote puzzle. Wait for the eye. Go. I believe that's just my brother talking to my dogs. I really need to get soundproofing for this office space. Now, I'm pretty sure this... Yeah, that one is not one of those eyeball switches. That one is... I honestly do not know how these eyes operate, but you wait for them to open and you shoot them. Come on. Come on. Eyeball. Eyeball. Open. 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 Now. Now. I don't know how to time this. I want to destroy it. I'm gonna jump to when I shoot this thing. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna show why you need to shoot the eyeball. There is a block of white stuff blocking the path. You shoot the eyeball, and the entrance you came from is not blocked. Okay. The entrance you're trying to go to is no longer blocked. And inside we have the dead hand again. The good news is that we don't need to get caught in his hands again. We just need to throw a bomb near him. That triggers his activation. Now once he turns around, the sword length is no longer a viable thing to use. He will pop up here next. We're gonna use a powerful sword strike, and he dies in 2 hits, unlike with Young Link, which took him a couple of hits. And here we get a big chest. Uh-oh. We got the hover boots, popularly known as butter shoes. I prefer the hover boots because it's a cooler name. Now, I am going to switch into them right now. Hover boots make it so you have no traction. So you will slide. But it also means that you will not fall in pits. So, I have now reached a dilemma. I don't have keys, and I need a key. Come on. So, where is the key? I'm hoping I did not screw this up. Initially, in order to get to this part of the dungeon, you needed the hover boots. I believe hover boots in this dungeon have now become optional. Let's go back into the small room. And I just realized I could have used Pharaoh's Wind. Okay. Nothing there. There is a chest in here. Is there a chest down here? No. Maybe? Yes. What's down here? A key! Okay, that worried me. Okay, so they have made it so that you can still get around the dungeon with 2 keys. Climbing back up. That is a smart dungeon design, actually, having the chest appear on this floor as well. Interesting that although I have the compass, the chest did not appear on this screen. I don't think any of these chests were on my map a moment ago. Were they? I don't know. Anyways, we are going to continue. We are now at a decent time. So what we're gonna do is grab Pharaoh's Wind. And what we're gonna do is not dispel it right now, but you never know. We are gonna switch the bow out for the long shot. That was not what I was expecting here. Okay. Like I said, it takes 2 bomb throws to break a big Beamos. This is more what I was expecting. And there's an example of the hover boots' actual purpose at work. Sorry, I'm slightly focused on the Beamos. Okay. So we have a large pit here. Now, this is why Pharaoh's Wind is important to note about the doors, because Pharaoh's Wind will not put the spell here, it will put it back at the door. So, that is not what I wanted. So I will see you guys at the end of the hallway again. Something that should be noted now, by the way, is that here there is a bit of a slope. Because right here is a hookshot target. If you are down below in that area, and you need to get back up to the upper area here to get out of the Shadow Temple manually, there is no way to get up here. So you'd have to ascend a different way. So just something to note. Okay, what I'm gonna do is equip the fire arrow, and I think my shot is not gonna work. Yeah. Not even from here, so I have to run through. Okay. So you can't use 2 magical items at the same time in this game. I don't know what that actually triggered, I'm gonna be honest. So you can't use fire arrows and the and the Eye of Truth at the same time. Excuse me. In here we have a like and spinning side. Use a spin attack to kill the like. There are fake silver rupees here. Let's not use the bow. More Song of Time puzzles. The Shadow Temple is, in the original version, very linear, but I would have to say it's probably one of my favorite dungeons. It's creepy, but the concept is cool, if that makes sense. So we have two chests here. One I know is invisible, the other is very visible. And we have blue rupee. Another Song of Time space. There we go. I thought defeating all the enemies would do something. Clearly it did not. What am I trying to think of saying now? The Zelda Ocarina of Time elements are interesting in this game. And I really like them because unlike other... this is what that eye did. Of course, I failed to land on it correctly. So this eyeball that we shot with the fire arrow activated these platforms. Anyways, the elements, they're interesting to me. Reasoning why is because you have the traditional elements of fire, water, and forest, which composes earth. But then you have the non-physical elements of light, shadow, and spirit. It's really cool and really interesting. It's why I consider it to be like a basis of any game that has an elemental quality to it. If you were designing dungeons, these are the elements that you could start with as your basis. Also, okay. Up there. This brings us a bundle of arrows, which is actually a pretty good reward for that puzzle because we needed more arrows. In here we have quite a bit of chests. Hidden in the wall is of course our block, so that didn't change from game to game. So, sorry for being quiet a little bit in this episode. There's a lot happening. With that, we are 2 away from obtaining our last Skulltula prize. Our last prize. If you do want to go for the ridiculous prize of all of the gold Skeletolas, by all means go ahead. They're everywhere. I taught you how to identify the markers. Excuse me. This room kind of feels exactly like Ocarina of Time's room, even having the same terrible items. What is in this chest? Okay, so this room was important. Anyways, we now have all the items. We are going to go back to the main area here, make our way to that guillotine. And this is where having the Eye of Truth is a bit more mandatory in the dungeon, because there is a moving platform there. You could use arrows to identify its location. We do not have the arrow luxury. I feel like the roll slowed me down. Anyways, guys, with that, we have reached our 30-ish minute mark, and we're gonna call this an episode. If you liked what you saw, leave a comment in the comment section below, mash that like button, and subscribe if you have not for more Ocarina of Time Master Quest content. In the next episode, we're going to continue through the Shadow Temple and find the Shadow Beast. I'll see you guys all in the next episode. Bye.